Chester, don't eat the chair. Don't eat the chair, buddy. Hello. What are you doing? Easy. Easy. Where Aries go? Where Aries go? There we go. All right. Hey everybody, we're still getting set up. So just give us a few minutes here. Get your ball. Come get your ball. Go back out. Ready? Go get it. Get your ball. All right. Chester, don't eat the chair. Easy, buddy. Chester. Chester, don't eat the chair. Easy, buddy. Chester. There we go. Good boy. All right. Hey everybody, if you can join us in the live chat, that would be awesome. That's how we're going to do the Q&A session. And we're going to start at 6 o'clock. So right now we're just going to play with the birds. Aries loves landing on Mommy Human's head. So we look forward to having a chat with you guys. We are live. We are live. Just checking the website, making sure everything is good there. And it kind of is, so we'll just say yes. Pop out the chat window here so I can actually see what's going on. I don't know why it doesn't let you see the whole list of participants. Restore chat. Okay. So we have two concurrent viewers, which are both of us, I think. We've got a monitor set up in the other room to see what you guys are seeing. Hopefully you can hear us. Mic check. 1, 2. Mic check. Ha ha ha. 1, 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cool. Be right back.
It's not time for feeding. Yay! I get the big chair. You gonna eat my hair? It's not time to eat. No, Chester. Say hi, Aries. Say hi. Say hi, to Chester. No, Chester.
Way lagging here.
Where's it going? Come on, to daddy.
Right.
Hello.
So we have 6 more minutes.
Hello.
That lag is really, really bad.
You like my sweater? No. Nice.
So we have Carla on the line. Okay, switch chairs with me real quick so I can get to the... Almost ready. All right, everybody, it is 6 o'clock and we are gonna start our live session. Hopefully the mic level is good and we're not blowing everybody's eardrums out. If we are, again, let us know in the chat. So we're doing this so you guys can learn a little bit more about us. If you have any questions about the recent episode, the cost breakdown, and what's involved in owning a macaw, then now's your opportunity to ask. So I'm gonna hop right into the chat because we already have some questions. And let's see here. How are you all? Birds are getting so big. Yes, yes they are. Aries can grow a little bit more, but Chester's pretty big. He's still growing. We don't know how much more he's gonna grow, but Chester. All right, we have another question. Have the birds eaten anything new lately? Yes, we feed them people. There are plenty of people in the world, so we figure, you know, whatever. We'll feed a couple people the birds and nobody will notice. But no, we're feeding them, what's the new food we started them on? I don't even remember the name of the food. I couldn't tell you. I should have probably brought it down. It's a food we got from Petco, which we normally don't go to, but we couldn't get our regular food. But it's full of nuts, berries, seeds, hot peppers, and all kinds of good stuff for them. We also switched them over to a new pellet-based diet that they're not quite acclimating to yet, but we're going to continue to try it. What do you feed them daily? So I think I think we covered that there. They also like to eat French fries. You shouldn't feed your bird a lot of French fries, but birds like French fries. What else do we feed them? If you
Fruits and vegetables.
Fruits and vegetables. So if you watch the cooking episode, you'll know that we feed them human food from time to time. And in that episode, we covered how to make, we tried to make an omelet that turned into scrambled eggs with vegetables. It was really, really delicious. You have an accent on the floor. One of the things about owning a macaw is they love to poop everywhere. So, anyways, yeah. So I'm gonna hop back to the chat, see if we have any more questions. It says we have 4 concurrent viewers. Let's see, who do we have for the participants? We only have Carla in the chat. Come on, join us in the chat. Questions are awesome.
Hello.
Tell them.
Say hello.
Say ask questions. We need questions. Help us, right? Yeah. Okay, so I guess since we don't have any questions right off the bat, we'll take a few minutes to kind of talk about this episode. So we got some advice from some acquaintances of ours who suggested we take a different direction as far as filming was concerned. So you'll notice in this episode, it's significantly different from the episodes we've done in the past. Lots of different cuts, lots of different angles. Some things got kind of out of whack. This particular episode was really difficult for us to shoot. Aries and Chester just did not want to cooperate. Are you okay? You okay? They think we're in trouble. It's okay. Step up. Step up. No. Step up. You just want to hold my hand. All right. There you go. So yeah, we tried some new things. We're really curious to see what everybody thinks about how we filmed that episode. And if you want to see more episodes that are like that, we do have some pretty big announcements we're going to make in this live stream. But we're waiting for wow, that's loud. Waiting for a few more people to join us before we go ahead and do that. So, in the meantime, I'm going to adjust the microphone one more time. I truly apologize for all of you out there in YouTube land whose ears are getting blasted out by the macaws. All right, when are you coming to Florida? And anyone in Florida can meet the birds at where and when. So that is a really good question and part of the announcement. So we are making a trip down to Florida, and we are leaving the week of the 20th.
Hello.
So if you see us, we're going to be driving. Feel free to come up and say hi. Say hi to Chester and Aries and Lost and everybody else. We're going to be shooting the week of, as I look at the computer, the weekend of the 23rd. So tentatively right now, we have film dates for the 23rd and 24th at Everything Birds in Oldsmar, Florida. This leads us into our next announcement. We are adding a new feathered friend to the flock. Super excited. Tiff, you want to tell them?
We are getting a military macaw, and we are going to name him Sarge. Yeah.
And we're going to be basing some episodes around Sarge. So we have a feeling people out in YouTube land have questions about what it takes when you first get a macaw. And it is very involved. So we're getting him directly from the breeder, and he's probably going to be we're not really sure. He's not going to be old. He's not going to be old at all. He'll probably just be a big ball of skin and maybe a couple feathers. So there's a whole lot that's involved with taking care of a baby macaw, including feeding it like a baby almost every 4 hours, I think it was. It was 7, 12, 3, and 7. We don't remember the schedule. We got to go back and look at our books. But you have to get up and make the macaw formula very similar to infant formula that you would feed a baby. Very high in protein, very high in nutrients, and it's fed with a tube. So we'll demonstrate how that's done, but we don't recommend anyone run out and try it. So for those of you that don't know, I worked in the vet field for many years as a technician. And I, even having owned birds for a long time, I'm still uncomfortable with the process of tube feeding. So it takes some getting used to, and you can seriously hurt your bird if you don't know what you're doing. This also applies to the temperature of the food. A lot of birds die every year because their humans will overheat the formula, and it'll scald the insides, and it's just a painful, horrible way to die. So again, we'll demonstrate, but please don't just run out and try this. Yeah. All right, so we've got another question from Carla. Thank you, Carla, for all the questions. Do you have a schedule of where you will be and when? Can you post a schedule so followers can meet up with you? We don't have the itinerary yet, but we will be putting one together and hopefully releasing it on... We have our meeting on the 11th, right?
I don't know.
So we're meeting with Kirsten and Jason from Everything Birds on the 11th. We're going to have a Skype call with them where we're really going to hash out the details. Another thing about that is when we release the itinerary and you decide to show up, please let us know that you're intending on coming. And one of the reasons why is because we are going to have all kinds of fun stuff, our human stuff. And we will be giving it away. So all kinds of fun, our human swag, shirts, pillows, mugs. We'll also probably be doing a bird toy giveaway. And perhaps a gift card to Everything Birds. But again, we have to work the details out for that. So please bear with us. The details on that will come out soon, but we hope everybody comes out. We are so excited to meet everybody and to give stuff away, because that's always fun. Give me a second to help Tiff here. Come on, Chester. There you go, buddy. All right. All right, so I'm going to hop back to the chat. So there we go. Oh, another thing that we're going to be doing when we're in Florida. So one of our followers has ordered the same aviary that we used for Chester and Aries. And we're going to film an entire episode on their build. We're going to go to their house and we're going to build it on site for them. Super excited about that build. It's going to be a lot more detailed than that first build we did. We got some feedback that it lacked certain things. Although Tiffany's cutting of the baseboard was appreciated, so we liked that. But yeah, so we're going to be filming an episode where we help one of our subscribers put together their aviary for their bird. Super excited for that. All right, so we have a comment from Booty the Destroyer. Yeah, I didn't pronounce that right. I'm just going to call you the Destroyer. So the Destroyer, give the birds treats. They deserve it. You are right. We didn't bring anything down for them to munch on. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to run upstairs really quick and get some treats, and then I'm going to hand this over to Tiffany. So she's going to field any of the questions you may have and perhaps talk a little bit more about what we anticipate with Sarge. So give me just a few minutes. I'll be right back.
So, I don't know if any of you viewers know this, but with Aries and Chester, I was the one who tube fed them. And to this day, they come to me for food. And so it's going to be quite an experience watching James tube feed the new bird. And they both still take the tube. Chester is iffy on it. Some days he'll take it, some days he won't. And if he does take it, he only takes it once. And Aries, he likes to attempt to eat bird food, but most of it ends up falling out of his mouth. He's trying. Right? Say hello. Say hello. He can say hello. They both can say hello. Hello? What's Daddy got?
I'm back. All right. So we had a question about the food earlier. So I brought down 2 of the bags of the food that we use. We're not sponsored by either of these brands. So, no sponsorship, no paid promotion. It's just a product that we like to use. So our go-to is the Higgins Premium Pet Food. And this is, I ran down the steps and I can't breathe. Give me a minute. Hopefully I don't keel over and die.
Higgins Fruit and Nut.
It's got fruit and nuts.
How long would you say that bag lasted then?
Now this bag lasted almost 6 months, I would say. Part of the reason being because Aries was still being weaned, and Chester would still have formula off and on. So we started to introduce this about maybe 4 months ago.
Yeah.
About 4 months ago, and it's lasted us the entire time. They burn through this stuff really quick, but again, you want your birds to be on a pellet-based diet for the most part.
They also each get their own bowl.
Yes. And then this is the other brand we just bought. Again, this was from Petco, and I was really surprised with the quality. So this is Tropical Carnival Gourmet Food. Now, it has peanuts in it, and there's a lot of controversy as far as giving birds peanuts.
It's not open yet.
No, it's open. Apparently, it has something to do with bacteria or a fungus that can linger on the peanuts and cause your bird to get sick. But they seem to still like it.
gonna say Chester likes it.
Chester likes it. And then Aries, his favorite is, let's take a poll. Okay, so for those of you that's on, do you think Aries prefers the peanuts? Whatever this is.
Apricot?
Isn't it an apricot?
I think it's apricot.
It smells really good. It smells like an apricot. Or bananas. So in the chat, apricot, bananas, or peanuts, what would you guess that Aries' favorite treat is? Come on, Destroyer. Nothing. No guesses. Here we go.
Apricot.
We got to vote for apricot. Anybody
Is it
else?
apricot or apricot?
Did we lose the Destroyer? We didn't lose the Destroyer. Come on, Destroyer. What's your vote? We've got one for apricot. We still have peanut and banana.
Chester's gonna eat it.
All right. So Aries' favorite treat is definitely the bananas. He burns through these things, and just regular bananas in general. He loves bananas. There you go. We had to upgrade our regular vacuum to robot vacuums, which we now have to have all over the house. Macaws are very messy. I saw a little meme that said, what was it? Living with a macaw is like living with a blender with the top always off, or something to that effect. Point being, stuff everywhere all the time. Macaws are not super clean. Right. All right. So we're going to turn back to the chat. What else do we have?
Nut.
The nut. He, you know what? He does like the almonds, but he definitely 100% prefers the. He definitely 100% prefers the bananas, which he's still eating. So we'll give him an almond once that's done. So does anybody out there today have a macaw or bird?
They like to land on each other's heads.
They like to land on each other's heads.
Aries especially, he thinks he's a hat.
Aries does think he's a hat. Aries has this weird obsession with landing on people's heads. He's not the best aviator out there. Chester is pretty amazing. He ran into one window early on, and then hasn't really done it since.
Oh look, hat.
Now I have a hat. But yeah, Chester's flying abilities are way better than Aries. I'm hoping Aries catches up. One thing Aries likes to do is he'll fly directly into the ceiling, and then he goes down and hits the floor. That can be kind of dangerous because we have really high ceilings in our entranceway, and there was a point where he flew up, hit the ceiling, came back down, and yeah, it wasn't good. So we have to be careful with Aries. All right. We have a winky face from Dennis. Dennis, welcome to the chat. Glad to have you. And then we have, what do people need to have to plan for a big bird like a macaw? Wow, that's a... You want to take that one?
Ooh,
Where do we start?
you need to have a lot of time. They take a lot of time. Big cage. They need fresh fruits and veggies daily. Water daily. Pellets. We use cat litter on the bottom of our cage.
Yeah, so I
For
think...
that.
Really quickly, I want to speak to that point. So, a lot of people use paper to line the bottom of their cages, and that's great because you can quickly clean it and throw it away. One problem with it, though, is the birds tend to peck at the paper. Some cages have the triple tiers, so it's harder for them to get at, but they do sometimes still get at the paper, and then that can cause all kinds of internal issues. So what we found is a all wheat-based litter which is fantastic because it's 100% biodegradable. You can actually flush it down the toilet. Another benefit is if they eat it, it's just wheat. So it's not super bad for them. If anything, it's nutritious.
Are you
So
just
I would
gonna
say
leave it
nutritious. Yes.
Chester's kind of heavy.
If you're getting a baby macaw, like we're getting ready to get again, some of the things that you're absolutely going to need is you're going to need a box. Why do you need a box? Why would you keep a baby bird in a box? Well, that's very similar to how they would be in the wild. They would be in a nest. So we want to keep that. We want to keep them in an environment that's controllable and similar to the one they came from. Another thing you're going to need is a heat pad. I think we list in our budget book that we released in the last episode, I think we listed what specific heat pad we use. But you're going to want to keep a heat pad and keep it under the box. So you'll have heat pad, box, layer of litter, and then they'll pretty much stay in there for most of the day. You'll take them out to feed them and then play with them, and then they'll want to
They do a lot of sleeping. They're a lot like a newborn, except one wonderful thing about a baby macaw is they sleep through the night.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Usually.
So what else would you need? You need a syringe with a tube on the end, because again, that's what you'll use to feed the formula. You're going to need plenty of formula.
Big is the syringe? 60 mil?
It's a 120 milliliter syringe, and you're going to feed between 60 mils and 120 mils per day, or per feeding. However much they really want to take is what you'll end up giving them. You definitely don't want to overfeed them, but if you do, so we had an issue when we first got Chester. We were concerned that we had overfed him. His crop, which is the sack in the front, and you're going to see this when we get Sarge and we feed him. This area, step up.
This area?
This area right here is a giant pouch. So when you put the tube in, this whole thing fills up. And it's about the size of a softball. But we had thought we overfed Chester and kind of panicked. Come to find out we didn't, but we were typical parents and got scared. One thing that you can do is if you feel you overfed your parrot is to put it back in its box and turn the heat up as high as you can. Don't cook your bird. If you have enough, if you're using a good heat pad and you've got enough litter on the bottom, you shouldn't cook your bird. But the heat will speed up the process in which they digest the food, and then they become giant pooping machines. And they'll just clear that out real quick.
We also, when they're babies and we leave them in the box, we also use a towel and kind of roll it up and wrap it around them because they can't hold their head up. And so they like to lay their head on it. And I think it makes them feel more secure too.
Yeah.
You dropping food?
And as she mentioned, for a big bird, you're gonna want to have the cage already ready. If you have a small cage, just don't try it. You may be able to stuff them in there, but it's horrible for your bird. We don't recommend it. It can cause all kinds of psychological problems, including them starting to pluck, which means they'll start to pull their feathers out. And that's a really hard behavior to correct. So just go for a big cage if you have the room. For individuals in Florida, it's fantastic because for most of the year, you could just build an outdoor aviary and keep them outside, depending on where you are. Hat. I think that's it, really. So food, water, housing, attention. Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Same thing with macaws. They need everything that people need. All right. So with that, we're going to turn back to the chat. Any more questions?
Oh, okay.
See who we have on the line here. Did we lose the destroyer? We lost the destroyer. We lost Carla too. We still have Dennis. Dennis is always fun. Dennis has been a longtime subscriber and follower of Chester and Harry's, and he always has fun questions. So Dennis, what do you have for us tonight? I know you have something. Family-friendly something.
A lot of attention.
A lot of attention.
Yes.
Yes. So, as you can see, they want to give you as much attention as you give them. I would say, unlike dogs really like to cuddle and want to be around people, but these birds are they're flock animals, and they need constant attention. They want to be groomed. They want to groom you. They want to be played with. Just shoving them in a cage somewhere is a really bad idea. They want to be part of the flock, and they'll learn, what the boundaries are, so they're not eating your furniture. They still eat our furniture. We're not quite there yet. What they should and shouldn't be doing. So that's fantastic.
Hello.
Oh, you did not lose me. No, okay. So we didn't lose the destroyer. Phenomenal. There's something wrong with the live chat, so the participant list keeps dropping off. And then we have a question from Dennis. Did they sit on the TV? Do they like places where it's warm? That's a great question. So we have a Samsung flat screen TV up in our living room, and it puts out a lot of heat. I've had this TV for 12, 13 years, and it is a heat box. And Chester and Aries love to sit on top of it. The only problem that you could probably imagine is when they sit on top of the TV and they have to go to the bathroom, well, it's got to go somewhere. So what we did is we built a box behind the TV so they can still sit on the TV and get warm, but then they have a litter box behind there that they go to the bathroom in, so it's really easy to clean up. What are you doing? What? Want another banana? So thank you for your question, Dennis. Here, there you go. You want more? There you go. No?
I gave him a treat. He threw it.
Didn't want it. Let's see if he wants that. There you go, buddy. Okay. So Carla's still here. Any other questions? Is anybody here located in Florida? And if so, do you think you guys can be in Oldsmar the weekend of the 23rd?
I think Carla's in Florida because she had asked us when we were going to be in Florida.
Yeah. So Carla is in Florida. We actually already know that Carla will be coming out to the Oldsmar event. Super excited to have Carla out there. She has a bunch of birds herself. What does she have? She's got like budgies.
She has bungees, yeah.
Yeah, budgies and some parakeets. Nothing large yet, but you never know. I'm going to go grab Chester really quick before he eats a wire, but I'll be right back. Tiffany, you want to answer whatever questions?
He came.
There he goes.
Good boy.
Come on. There you go. Get your ball.
Should we talk to them about the commands that they have learned?
Go. Why don't you go ahead and kick that off? Because quite frankly, I'm not really sure what commands they know.
They know step up.
They know step up. They don't always do it, but they do know it. And step up is one of the most important things. I don't want to say one of the most important things. It's very important to teach your birds step up. It's also a good way to gauge whether or not they actually want to interact with you. So, for example, Chester, step up. Chester, step up. Step up. Step up. So you can tell from his reaction right now that he's not super interested in stepping up. And if I keep pushing the issue, he's going to push back. Step up. Step up. Oh, no. He didn't push back. So what'll happen sometimes, and it's not really aggression, it's they'll fluff their feathers, or Chester makes like a light growling noise to let us know, hey, look, you might be pushing a little too hard. Back off.
Their pupils dilating is another, right?
Yes, so if you ever hear us say the pupils are doing the happy dance, That's one thing it's really important if you own a macaw to pay attention to. When macaws get excited, their pupils will hyperdilate. So it's crazy to see. And then when they're super, super, super excited, their pupils will get super small. Now, they are excited, so this can go one of two ways. They could be excited, happy, I'm going to play, or they could be excited, agitated, and getting ready to bite. So as you learn your individual macaw, you'll kind of know the difference, but there's no guarantee. Don't eat the chair. What are you doing? What are you doing? There's no guarantee that you won't end up on the receiving end of a bite. Neither of us have. Oh, well, Aries bit me once, and that was my fault. So I was introducing him to his harness, and he didn't approve of that whatsoever and let me know it and got me pretty good. But that's the only time that we've been tagged by either Chester or Aries. All right, gonna turn back to the chat. So the destroyer is from Morocco. That's awesome. I'm glad you're joining us from Morocco. That's really cool. What do you guys keep parrots out in Morocco? I don't know a whole lot about Morocco. I'd love to learn. Could be a latency, so we're gonna give it a second and see if we get a response from the destroyer. I really do like that name. Do they like the cold? I'm from Morocco and it's freezing. No. Great question. The macaws come from a temperate region that's generally warm year round. So you want to avoid keeping them in cold weather, but that's not to say that they can't tolerate or survive it. You just don't want to push your limits. There's another channel, Macaw channel, that we have, that we subscribe to, and they live in a colder region, and they do take their birds out in the cold, and they seem to do just fine. We were going to take Chester out today, as a matter of fact, but we can't find the harness. I think Aries hit it after that incident. So thank you for the question. They can, but I wouldn't recommend it. All right. If you see us looking over, we're looking at the chat. We've got our setup kind of in this direction.
Hi, buddy.
All right. Any other questions? Did you guys find this latest episode useful? I know the prices were specific to the United States and actually specific to the region in which we're in, which is the East Coast of the United States. We know it varies drastically. We were actually going to get a military macaw, what was it, a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
We were going to get a military macaw a couple weeks ago. This one store that we went to had 2 babies, and oh my God, they were so cute. Don't ever take me into a store that has baby animals, because I want them all.
Including giraffes.
I will own a giraffe one day. I know you guys have giraffes in Morocco, I believe. I want a giraffe. Totally got derailed. Now I'm thinking about giraffes.
Baby animals.
Yeah, so they had a military macaw, 2 of them, but they wanted $5,800. And we thought that was exceptionally high. Now, the area we live in, which is right outside of DC, is kind of a costly area, but that price seemed hyper inflated. So we called our contacts, Kirsten and Jason at Everything Birds, and we were like, hey, look, what is the going rate for a military macaw, and do you guys get them in anytime soon? And they told us, we're going to have one in the end of January, and we jumped right on it. We were so excited. So we're like, yeah, we're going to take them. And I don't remember what the price is. It was between $2,400 and $2,800, but I don't remember the exact amount. So the destroyer goes, yes, we do. My neighbor actually keeps one. That is so awesome. I'm not kidding. I really do want a giraffe. One day I will have a giraffe. They are fantastic creatures. Okay, so cool. Very grouchy woman. So you live next to my mom. That's easy. Awesome. That's cool. If you could send us a picture, that would be super cool. Our email is on the website, www.ourhumans.com. We do respond to all of our emails and messages. The general email address is support@ourhumans.com. But then we also have individual email addresses. It's not going to be a secret here. mommyhuman@ourhumans.com, daddyhuman@ourhumans.com, Chester, Aries, ourhumans.com. So if you want to send an email to anybody specific, you can do that. Chester, Aries will respond, but it might take some time. All right, but you need a license. So let's go to Dennis. I jumped ahead here. I can be a macaw, adopt me, haha. Dennis, there's enough room in that aviary upstairs, but yeah, I don't think it'll work, buddy. Can't help you out there. Yeah, we noticed that in Florida too. So there actually is a baby giraffe for sale in Florida. And we found a plot of land that's zoned to keep exotic animals, but just like you said, the Destroyer, you do need a license to keep one. But wouldn't that be so awesome? I don't know if you can ride giraffes. We're getting kind of sidetracked here. But I'd want to try to ride my giraffe, like through downtown Tampa, for example.
You might get a ticket.
You might get a ticket. I don't know. I would claim it's a horse and I'm Amish, but you know.
And you'd have to walk it in the street.
Walking.
You wouldn't be afraid of it getting hit by cars?
Would you want to hit a giraffe? Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying anybody would want to hit it, but
Yeah, that would do a lot of damage to your car, I would think.
he's worried about the car, not the giraffe.
No, because what was that movie?
No, it's okay.
The one with the poor giraffe and they're driving and they go under the bridge. Oh, what is that movie? Do you guys know what movie I'm talking about? Not Jumanji, Dennis. We're totally getting sidetracked here. Not even talking about macaws anymore. It was a movie. They go to Vegas. And the guy is driving around with the giraffe, and it's sticking up through the top of the car, and he goes under the bridge, and unfortunately, that's the end of the giraffe. If you know the name of the movie, let us know. Anyways, so back to the macaws. Yeah, so the costs are specific to our region. The sheet that we provided is the sheet that we use to kind of track our expenses. It's also good if you are anticipating purchasing a macaw, because that'll give you the ability to anticipate what your costs are going to be based on your region. I did include Amazon links in the sheet. If you click on those and purchase stuff from that sheet using our Amazon links, it helps us out. But I'll be quite honest with you, you could probably find cheaper prices elsewhere. Let's see. We have Bobby with us. Bobby Harrington. Your macaws are so cute. Can I have one? We can send you a Team Aries or Team Chester t-shirt. Will that work? Or hat. But we can't send you the macaws. We love them too much. I'm glad we have more people join us. Oh no, we had a bunch of people just drop off. It's because all the talk about giraffes. They got bored. We're going to run the call till, I think, should we run till 6:45 or should we just run till 7?
That's up to you.
We're going to hang out with you guys till 7. Yes, t-shirt, please. Cool. Send an email to support@ourhumans.com and let us know your size and shipping address, and we will definitely get you a shirt. And just let us know, do you want Team Chester or Team Aries?
The red one is Chester, the blue one is Aries.
Right. Aries.
Say hello.
Aries. Dennis said, looked it up. I think it's the movie In the Heat of the Night from 1967. It had... I'm just going to assume that's correct, because if we dig any more into this, we're not going to be talking about macaws anymore. I closed out the live stream. There we go. All right, so we're back. Okay.
You tired?
Toys.
That's Hello.
Macaws, as I mentioned in the video, love to destroy toys. So, on that note, these are some of the toys that we had listed in the video. This chain thing, they tore up pretty quick. They'll chew through the ropes, they'll break through the plastic. You want to be careful. This is really thick plastic, so when they break it, it doesn't really splinter. But if you have a toy that splinters, I would not encourage you to give that to your macaw, because then you run the risk of them having issues. Another toy we found that was phenomenal were these coconut husk things. They come on a string of 4 or 5, and again, they're listed in the cost sheet. They're relatively cheap, and the macaws absolutely love these things. They tear them to pieces. Now I say that, and I'm going to try to hand it to Chester, and he's going to look at me like I'm stupid. No, he cooperated. There we go. Oh. You can't beat this. Hop into the chat.
Woo! Chester got the first piece.
Awesome. Team Aries, please. I was going to name my daughter Aries. Awesome. Team Aries shirt it is. Carla's still here. Fantastic, Carla. Oh my gosh, Macy. Macy! Hello! Family! So Macy is a really good friend of ours. We're super excited to have you on the line. But Hangover Part 3, that is the movie. You are correct. I couldn't think of it, but it is that. That poor giraffe. So sad. Macy, are you coming back to the States anytime soon? Or are you here?
She's still in England.
Still in England?
Yeah.
Oh, we have some new friends that are over your way. We'd love to go out and visit them at some point. I don't think we can take Chester or Aries. That's another thing, okay, before I forget. I get sidetracked really easy. It's stuck on my finger. Traveling with macaws is interesting.
Yeah.
And very complicated. We are driving down to Florida, and we're going to retrofit our car. So we're going to turn the entire back of the SUV kind of into a bird sanctuary area. And again, we're going to do a video on that. But one of the things you have to think of is if you don't have anybody locally that specializes in boarding macaws, you may want to reconsider getting them if you intend to travel. There are a lot of people out there that will say their experience with macaws. Don't trust that. Get references. Make sure you're going to a reputable facility before you board your birds. Another thing is if you try to go into a hotel with your birds, it's not gonna happen. We did the episode. Macaws aren't allowed at Great Wolf Lodge. So obviously we didn't take them there, and the reason behind that is because we looked at the rules. Our intention was to smuggle them in. We were going to take basically a large dog crate and pretend it was a suitcase and just kind of wheel them in. Chester and Aries are pretty quiet for the most part, so we thought we could get away with it. But their rules and their policy at Great Wolf Lodge is if you get caught, they kick you out and keep your money and then charge you an additional fee. So that really stunk. So we couldn't take Chester and Aries, but they stayed in an amazing pet resort. So yeah, make sure you consider that. If you have to travel a lot, macaw is probably not the best idea, best pet for you. All right, hopping back over to the chat. Any more questions? Concerns? Thoughts? Oh, we wanted to address something really quick. From our cooking video, we've had some comments about the birds being on the counter when we were cooking. However, we will state for the record that the stove was actually on only once for one of the scenes when Aries kind of just flew on the cage and we had to keep shooting, and that's when Tiffany is mixing up the scrambled eggs and Aries goes for the pan. But for that episode, if you actually look really closely, we had the stoves off, so they weren't in any danger. Obviously, don't cook around your birds because that could be dangerous. Maybe not the best example we could have set.
Yeah.
So we did want to bring that up. Another thing is we promised our friends across the pond that we would briefly talk about pans. Why are we talking about pans? Because pans can kill your birds. I'm not talking about the weights and like you're going to hit your bird and kill your bird. Teflon pans or any pans with coating put off a toxic fume that we as humans aren't affected by, but it can.
Stuck.
Is he stuck? Step up.
There we go.
It can kill your birds. So if you decide to get a macaw, you're going to need to switch over to purely stainless steel cookware without any Teflon. Another thing is if you have a self-cleaning oven.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah, if you have a self-cleaning oven, we strongly encourage you to not run it when your birds are in the house. Even if you have a multi-level house like we do, the AC system or whatever you have in the house that circulates air can cycle that throughout the house. And that stuff is highly toxic and can kill your birds. So please consider that. Hopping back over to the chat, we have, does toy quality affect the enjoyment? That's an interesting question. No, not really. They kind of have preferences in what they like. So Chester's favorite toy is his ball, which
I think it's upstairs.
I brought
It's
it down.
actually a baby toy.
Yeah. So out of all the toys, this is Chester's favorite. Chester, you can get your ball? Oh, Aries, you can get your ball? Ready? Go get it. Go get your ball.
Well, we
That
tried.
So he loves the ball. But no, quality doesn't really matter. They are more interested in things they can break. But again, they have their favorite toys like the ball. Thank you for the question, Destroyer. Maisie, you right, my search was entered wrong. Thank you. Okay. Bobby Harrington, which macaw is brother human and sister human favorite, Aries or Chester, or do they like both the same? That's a really good question, and it's something that, oh man, I'm glad you asked that. So Chester really seems to,
Oh no!
I hope that just didn't kill the string. Come on, buddy. Aries decided to do a Google search. There we go. All right, we're still live. What was the question? I got sidetracked again. So Aries has bonded with Natalia, sister human. She's very, as you can tell from the videos, very outgoing and rambunctious. That didn't work with Chester at all. So we have to be very careful with sister human around Chester because he's very apprehensive towards her. Chester loves brother human. So yes, Aries favors sister human and Chester favors brother human. Yeah. Aries has a much more laid-back personality and tends to really get along with everybody. Chester's pretty picky. He's my boy. Yeah, I know. So thank you for that question. The Destroyer, do they like being picked up? When they want to be picked up, yes. They like being handled. One of the things we've been working with them on, and it's really a trust activity, is, let's sit up here. I know. There you go. Easy. Is flipping them upside down and rubbing their bellies. Now, I kind of caught him off guard with that one. That was a bad example. That looked like animal abuse. It wasn't. I love my Chester. Aries is actually to a point where he'll crawl into bed and he'll just flip upside down. Our Winston, the dog, he lays on his back. And Aries has kind of been doing the same thing. He'll just come in bed and just kind of kick back, lay back on his back and get belly rubs. It's pretty cool. But they do like to be handled and touched and played with, absolutely. Thank you for the question, Destroyer. All right, any other questions? We've got about 10 more minutes. We're going to hang in here for. Are they both males? You are full of good questions tonight, for real. You're hitting all the top tier questions here. No, thank you. Yeah, both Aries and Chester. Bird poop on my shoe. Both Aries and Chester are males. That's one of the reasons that we're able to keep them in the same aviary. If you have a male and female, you typically want to keep them apart for breeding reasons, and they can just kind of get nasty. It's a big question mark right now with Sarge. We don't have the DNA test yet, so we have no idea if Sarge is going to be a male or a female. If Sarge is a female, we are going to have to set up a whole new aviary for Sarge. On that note, there is a couple that has a hyacinth macaw that is a female that we may be adopting it. So Sarge won't be left alone if she is a female. We can pair the two. Thank you for your question. If anyone has questions about macaws, can they email you for advice? Absolutely, but to be honest, we are learning a lot of this as we go along. We hope you learn from our mistakes. Not that we're going to go out and make mistakes, but
on purpose. On purpose,
but things happen. So yeah, absolutely. Email us anytime. We have our Instagram, our Twitter. The main webpage is www.ourhumans.com, and it has the links to our Twitter there and our Instagram, which we are becoming way more active on. A general support question, again, if you just have a broad-based question, support@ourhumans.com. Sure. And if you have any specific questions for anybody in the family, you can go ahead and email those individuals. Again, mommyhuman@ourhumans.com, daddyhuman@ourhumans.com, et cetera, et cetera. We're pretty quick to respond to messages. So yeah, if you have questions, please send them to us. We'd love to hear from you. Let's see what we have here. If female, will they get jealous like humans? I have no idea. I don't know. Maybe. I couldn't. I don't know how to answer that question. We'll find out. So thank you for that question, Dennis. Yes, good question. Do birds get jealous? Yes. Yeah. So if we're playing with, if we have sister human or a brother human and we're all engaging in a family activity, and Chester Aries they're not included specifically, they'll get angry, they may get loud. When we're playing with Winston, for example, they want the attention. So you'll have Winston vying for attention, and you'll have Chester and Aries vying for attention, and then they'll growl back and forth.
I'm gonna be bald.
It's interesting. Any other instances where?
Oh, if we are petting Aries, Chester likes to do this thing where he will come up and he will take his head and his beak and like nudge your hand so that you end up petting him instead.
And Chester only does that for mommy human. If I'm playing with Aries, Chester really doesn't care, but he gets very, very jealous when mommy human pays attention to Aries or anybody else for that matter. But Chester is just a great bird. Very loving bird, right? He's a good boy. He's a good boy. Show him big stretch. Big stretch. Big stretch. Come on, big stretch. Pretty wings. Almost got there. Okay, so do birds get jealous? Bobby Harrington asks, instead of emailing, can I message Tiffany, a.k.a. Mommy Human? Absolutely. Again, it would be mommyhuman@ourhumans.com to reach Tiffany directly. So we are real people, by the way.
Yeah.
So we are. Oh. Yeah. So Tiffany, I'm James. Sister human is Nat. Brother human is James the Fourth. We call him Four. but for email purposes and for the channel, we just kind of go by the character. What do you call them? The characters we've been assigned. So yeah. So thank you for that question. Jealous of what? Love, attention, or food? They will fight over food. But for the most part, we ensure that they both have separate, their own separate portions, and they kind of manage that. But they are jealous of attention when it comes to, comes to people and physical affection, as you can see.
Chester was almost completely weaned off the tube before we got Aries, and he saw me tube feeding Aries. And then he went back to the tube.
Yep. So hopefully that answers your question. Thank you, Destroyer. Dennis just asked a very interesting and important question that all macaw owners need to... if you have a bird, you just need to be aware of this. If you have ceiling fans in your house, you've got a ceiling fan there, don't turn them on, ever. You don't know when your bird is going to get out. And we came home once, and unfortunately the ceiling fan in the living room had somehow got turned on, and Aries who's just terrible at flying to begin with. Was it Aries or Chester? I don't really remember. There you go.
I think it was Aries.
Yeah, I think it was Aries. He went and he got hit by the fan, and he was feeling it for a couple days. So you just want to be careful. Be a good boy. Be a good boy. Another thing is you'll see both me and Tiffany do a lot of beak-to-beak contact. That's important. Easy. He's hungry. A lot of... I just said we have beaks. We don't have beaks. We've got mouths. A lot of contact. It's really a trust thing with the birds to show that, hey, look, we don't use this for biting. You want mommy human, don't you? There you go. We don't use our mouths for biting. We can trust each other with that. I completely trust Chester when he's in my face. I don't recommend for anybody that you really have any wild animal or even domesticated animal get close to your face like that too often, because you're risking a bite. I really trust Chester. Aries I'm still working with. Aries is much more high energy than Chester.
Mm-hmm. He's also younger.
He's also younger. He's younger by a month. But he has these times when he'll just kind of like spaz out. And you run the risk of a bite. And when he does spaz out, and if you're laying with him, for example, we'll have them in bed every night, just cuddling with them. You run the risk of getting a nasty bite. So you just keep that in mind. Yes. So... don't leave fans on. Is it like raising children?
No.
You want to elaborate more, or are we just going to leave it at no?
You can't put your children in cages.
We advise you not to put your children in cages. Children
wear diapers. Birds could wear diapers.
Yes,
but ours do not. Okay, thank you. No. Gosh, could write a story on this.
In their early years, they learn way faster than
yes,
kids.
They grow and learn way faster.
Macaws go ahead.
They're tube fed for what? These guys were like a couple months.
Yeah, so
but not. They're still tube fed, but it's not. It's every now and then.
It's intermittent. What was I gonna say? I lost track again.
Feedings.
Feedings.
We're talking about feedings.
Children feedings, intelligence. They learn things quicker. They learn how to get in things quicker. But obviously, being birds, they're certain things they're never going to fully understand that human children will, process.
They also take a lot more practice and patience to learn words. They're not as high they don't need your attention as much as, in my opinion, a baby does. All they need is shelter, food, water, toys, and a couple of hours a day of your attention. And a child needs your attention 24/7.
So yeah, there are definitely differences.
Yes.
I'm gonna hop ahead, Bobby, to the Destroyer's question. You have a really interesting question here. My bird turned gray. Is it possible that he's sick? What type of bird do you have? So we'll give the Destroyer a second to respond to that.
We should talk about beak and nail trimmings.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious about the Destroyer's question, though.
Okay.
Your bird should generally... okay, so you have a macaw.
What type?
What type? Are you talking like the facial area has kind of flushed out and turned gray, or... Message retracted. We're watching the chat. Again, there's a delay here. A rule of thumb is if you think something's wrong with your bird, take it to the vet. Just don't risk it, because birds in the wild will hide the fact that they're sick until it's too late. Because in a flock, what'll happen is one bird will get sick and it'll go ahead and fake it up to the point that it can't anymore, and the rest of the flock will push it out and it'll die. So if you think there's a problem with your bird, I would strongly encourage you to just, take it down and have it checked out. A finch. Yeah, I would have it checked out. Just my opinion. I really hope the best for your bird and it's nothing. All right. Sister Human, you want to come in?
Yeah.
Sister Human's joining us.
And I am also going to tell you what time is it. 7 p.m. because I asked Alexa, it's 7 p.m.
All right. So we have run to 7, but we're still getting questions. So what we'll do is I'll extend this another 15 minutes. We'll go another 15 minutes. We're getting a lot of really good questions. Destroyer, I'm really concerned about your bird, and I'm going to be worrying about this all night. Please, because he used to be purple. Are you talking the feathers turned gray? I am really confused. Can you send me an email, daddyhuman@ourhumans.com? Let's chat a little bit more, because I'm not sure, and I'm probably going to need pictures to really take a look. Again, I was a vet tech for years. I'm not a veterinarian, but I would definitely like to help you. Please send me an email, and I'll work with you on that. All right.
Beak trimmings and nail trimmings.
Beak trimmings and nail trimmings.
Hello?
Their claws get really sharp.
Yeah,
really.
like really sharp.
Yes. To the point that they're like needles. I kid you not. They're so sharp they'll sink into your skin like needles, and that could be a problematic. So just like a dog, you could do nail trims. If you're not comfortable doing it yourself, a lot of bird stores will do it for you, either for a very small fee or for free. But you can do it yourself. We have a electric, it's like the Dremel nail trimmer. And if you just talk to him and keep him calm, you can just really quickly grind it off. Now, unlike dogs where you can see what's called the quick. So with a dog nail, as you cut down, you're going to see the shape go from an oval to something that looks like a split moon. When you get to the split moon, you're typically right outside of the quick being the where the the blood comes from, or the vessel. Hold on one second. And then with birds, there's no real way that I know of to gauge where that quick is, and if you hit it, they bleed, and they bleed profusely, and it's very, very hard to stop.
Very, very important. So you also have to know, if birds are trying to take your eye out, just take their beak and then just put it away. carefully.
None of the birds have tried to take our eyeballs out, but what Sister Human is trying to say is if you get a macaw that gets a really good hold of you, you have to be gentle. Just know how to gauge this. But the joint right in here where the mandible meets, if you put just a little bit of pressure on that, they will open back up typically, because that tendon in there is not as strong as it should be, so you can cause a release. So if they really have you and they have you good, put just a little bit of pressure there, but be careful because you can really hurt them if you do it wrrong.
Yeah.
But
really, really, really hurt them.
yeah. All right, so 7:05. Dennis has to go. Thank you very much, Dennis. We're really glad you joined us. Any other questions? Actually, what we'll do is we'll take 2 more questions and we'll go ahead and wrap this up.
I'm gonna ask Alexa what time it is again, and then I'm gonna tell you. I'll be right back. Don't leave.
Sister Human doesn't realize that when you say that name, it activates the Alexas we have all over the house. All right. We're haunted by Alexas. That's what she just said. So any more questions? We'll throw this out there. Anything else you guys want to know? We see people falling off, so I think we're coming to an end. This has been really fun. Again, we're super, super excited to be coming down to Florida, to be doing the cage build, and most importantly, to be picking up Sarge.
And it's now 7:05 p.m.
Thank you. All right, how many macaws are you guys going to end up with?
40 maybe. Or even 50.
I don't think we have a limit.
We don't have a limit.
We have at least like
We just
40. We're gonna get 40.
kind of keep growing our collection.
Growing. So we'll get Sarge, and then if we get the okay to adopt Ara, which is a hyacinth, which I absolutely love Ara, then we'll have 4, and that's where we're going to need to stop. Because between the macaws, we have a bunch of snakes, we've got tarantulas, and then eventually a giraffe. Pumpkin butt, which is one of our spiders. We literally have a zoo.
We're getting a giraffe. And I probably think we should get a baby giraffe and a baby elephant.
So with that, we're
Both up in cages.
So with that, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna wrap that up. Consider that the last question. Thank you again. Keep an eye out on our social media for the itinerary for the Florida trip. And if you're in a state along the way we travel down 95 South, let us know where you're at, and we may make a detour, and you guys can meet Chester and Aries and the rest of the humans. So with that, do you have anything else? No?
Alexa, what time is it now?
The time is 7:07 p.m.
7:07 p.m.
Sorry. All right. So again, thank you for hanging in there. Thank you for supporting the channel. It's really important to us. Please spread the word. We'd love to grow the channel out and continue on with this.
I hope you guys can have a giant Christmas. I had like 1,000 toys.
Thank you. Why are male birds more brightly colored than females? This is the last question we'll field. Natty, I need you to go for just a few minutes. Let me answer this last question, okay? Because I want to get this last question done, and then we got to eat dinner.
Sit with
So why are male birds more brightly colored than females? I believe the reason is it's to attract the females. Like in cardinals, unless I'm getting it backwards, the females are like the dark red and the males are the bright red. I think that's correct, but I could just be making this up. So
yeah, my dad.
Maybe that's why.
My dad sometimes makes jokes.
Makes jokes.
Very bad jokes.
Very bad jokes. So thank you again.
And sometimes I make very bad jokes, and sometimes I do make good jokes, and so does my dad. He makes bad jokes and good jokes, so do I.
And that's Sister Human. Thank you, Sister Human. Go upstairs and get dinner ready. We'll be up there in 1 minute.
Definitely not counting.
go. All right. So thank you again for joining us this evening. Thank you for all the questions. Again, thank you for the support. Any final words?
And you guys see our new pillow. I will be right back. Don't go, because I want to show.
I showed it at the beginning, but if you want to show them the pillow again.
Yes, we have pillows, computer,
A very cool
mouse pad,
I have
coffee cups, t-shirts
too.
And we'll be giving a whole bunch of this stuff away in Oldsmar. And we've got... we have more. We have more giveaways coming up, so stay tuned for that.
Kindergartens are going to get labeled on Our Humans, so as toys, when you squish them, they're going to say Our Human songs.
All right. Thank you.
Our humans, our humans, our humans.
We don't have a theme song. All right. Thank you very much, Destroyer. Have a great night. Obviously, this is getting out of control with Sister Human. Thank you again. We love you guys. Have a great night. And we are signing off. So from our humans to your humans, have a
great night.
Have a great night, everybody.
Alexa, what time is it now?